2014.
Okay, excuse me. Go ahead, please.
But it's a false statement, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay, people were angry that he ended the press conference because one of the reporters wouldn't stop asking him the same question over and over again. So, meanwhile, the media's gaslighting here continues. So the media covered this executive order as though it was really, really bad. Now, we all know for a fact that if Barack Obama had not been able to negotiate an agreement with Republicans in the middle of a pandemic to extend aid, and then he had unilaterally gone and done it, they would have cheered. And we know that because they literally cheered when he did it with DACA, right? He said, I can't cut a deal with Congress. I can't cut a deal with Congress. I can't do it. They won't make a deal. So I'm just doing it myself. And we were like, And we on the right were like, that's not how the Constitution works. You don't get to say, if I can't cut a deal, I'm just going to do it myself. But the media did. And then when it's Trump, then all of a sudden they care about the Constitution again. It's incredible how it kicks right back into place. Now, again, I'm not in love, for the 1,000th time, this episode alone, I'm not in love with the executive order. I don't like it. I don't think the president of the United States has the unilateral authority to do these kinds of things. But the media definitely do not get to stand there and now stand on the corpse of the Constitution they helped shiv and be like, oh, guys, this is real bad. This is real bad. The thing about the media that you have to understand, though, at least many members of the mainstream media, is the lack of self-awareness is just incredible, just unbelievable. So Brian Stelter, who, I find Brian amusing, I will say. I've been on his show a few times, a nice guy, but Brian Stelter on CNN, over the weekend, he literally had on a liberal journalist, and he asked them, there are all these media outlets, and they're out there trying to destroy Biden. They're after Biden. Why don't we see anything like media companies trying to tear down Trump? This is a thing that Brian Stelter said as a human with a face and a brain, presumably, inside that gourd. Here was Brian Stelter saying something that it's like, do you own a mirror? Have you ever seen CNN? I mean, Brian Stelter may never have seen CNN, right? I mean, he spends all day watching Fox News, so maybe he doesn't understand CNN exists. Here he was on CNN asking whether there is a network dedicated to the destruction of Donald Trump.
Aaron, your view of this, when you see entire media companies essentially exist to tear down Joe Biden, is there an equivalent to that on the left tearing down Trump?
Is there an equivalent to that?
There really isn't.
There really isn't. There's no... What? I mean, I'm watching CNN right now. They spent like years with every piece of breaking news was Donald Trump's about to go down for Russian collusion. Every segment on CNN has a chyron about how Trump's a liar and a bastard. And there's Brian Stelter being like, have you ever seen anything like this attack on Joe Biden? I mean, like people attacking Joe Biden, a presidential candidate. Brian Stelter didn't just stop with being unaware of media companies trying to tear down Trump. Brian Stelter also, this is my favorite clip actually from Brian Stelter's show this weekend on CNN. He was very angry because it turns out that many of us on the right, and by the way, some on the left, have questioned Joe Biden's mental fitness because, I will say it again, Joe Biden is barely alive. I mean, his mental acuity is not what it used to be. It is perfectly obvious from watching any clip of him. Brian Stelter decided that all of us are insane for suggesting that Joe Biden is not mentally fit because Joe Biden rode a bicycle over the weekend. This is a thing that happened on CNN. Don't worry, though. They're not just flacks for Democrats. Here is Brian Stelter.
Look at what Fox News saw on Saturday at Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. This is Joe Biden out there on a vigorous bike ride. Not wearing a helmet, but definitely wearing a mask, by the way. Fox's narrative and talk radio's narrative for months has been that Joe Biden is falling apart. You just heard Ben Shapiro say it, falling apart. And there he is riding a bike, out for a bike ride. And Fox, of all networks, is the one that showed it happen.
Owned! Oh my God, I've been owned. Joe Biden can ride a bicycle. Like a dog, like riding a bicycle. Like Pee Wee Herman riding a bicycle. Wow, he must be mentally fit to be president now because he rides a bicycle. You know who else is probably mentally fit to be president? My 4-year-old son who rides a bicycle. He's 4. He watches Octonauts. He knows about the creature reports. He clearly, my son, my 4-year-old, is fit to be president of the United States. He has the mental acuity of Joe Biden. He can ride a bicycle. I can't believe it. Now that I know that Joe Biden rides a bicycle, like can ride a bicycle as a nearly 80-year-old man, that means he's probably with it. He's probably like, it's all good. All those clips of him saying things like all black people think the same, and him not being able to put together full sentences, and him wandering off blithely into the wilderness of verbiage. All those weird clips of him just kind of, my time has run out. I was going to say something, but I was... All that doesn't... He rode a bike, guys. But don't worry, CNN is not a flak channel for Joe Biden or an attack channel on Donald Trump. Brian Stelter, man, the name of that show is Reliable Sources. That's the name of that show, is Reliable Sources. I couldn't love that more. That his case proved Joe Biden is fit to be president. The man can stay upright on a two-wheel bicycle. Wow. Like a clown, like a funny clown. He can ride a bike. Imagine if he could ride a unicycle. I mean, my goodness. If Joe Biden could ride a unicycle, then we should probably make him emperor. If he could fit inside a clown car, even, we should probably just make him president. Pretty incredible stuff.